In this video, we are talking about the difference between being in your head or being in your body. Now you may be wondering, okay, Sige, why is that important? Well, that's what we are going to talk about in here. So what does it mean being in your head? It means thinking thoughts. It means having internal discussions in your head. Have you had that before? Let me know. We all have that, right? And perhaps you even see people speaking to themselves out loud. Well, they actually use their voice to show what is happening in their head. Okay, and they're not aware of it. So actually, this happens with every single one person on the planet, not the speaking, but then the internal dialogues. Okay. Now, the whole of this society is so focused on solving all of our problems by thinking of them. And of course, you need your thinking in order to make sure that you plan, that you arrive at an appointment that you set, to do so many things, to make decisions, to move through specific parts of your day. That's what we need thinking for, right? You're solving problems. You actually had to remind yourself to go and pick up the kids, or to go to the gym, or to have lunch. All of these things. This is what we use our thinking for. Okay. Have you experienced before that the society also wants you for things to be logical? Can you agree? And can you also see that perhaps in your life, when you make decisions, you want them to be logical? Now, this is where it gets interesting. What is logical to you? You can have so many discussions about this. Okay. So being in our head is solving problems, thinking of how you can move from A to B, finding solutions, fixing things. If I do this, then this will happen. If I do that, then that will happen. And if I do that, then that will happen. Do you see? You're trying to solve with your thinking mind. Okay, so do you agree that we are a body, a mind, and a soul? So when you're thinking, you're actually in your head, okay? Do you know that you have 70,000 thoughts a day? Now, it may not seem like so much because it's repetition of those thoughts mainly. The same thoughts that you were thinking yesterday, you repeat today. Now, why are these thoughts, or specific ones of these thoughts, more familiar to you instead of somebody else? I want you to understand that there are thoughts that we engage with on an emotional level. And can you see when you do that often enough that you strengthen these thoughts in your brains? You know what you fire together, wires together. So if you have specific thoughts in your head, no, when you have specific thoughts in your head, not if, when you have specific thoughts in your head, and you attach a specific emotion to it, this gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So this is why some thoughts are triggering you, or some situations are triggering you, and not so much another person. Perhaps that's thoughts about money. Perhaps that is thoughts about your relationships, about your health. Perhaps it's something for your job, something that happens on your job, for your purpose, perhaps. Perhaps you see that it happens with another person, because that's what we notice first. And now, can you be honest enough to see that it happens for yourself as well? That perhaps there are thoughts in your head that you react more emotionally to than to other thoughts, right? So this is where the connection happens with your head and your body, right? You're thinking things, and when we feel emotions, that's actually our body, the feelings, their energy that moves us, energy in motion. And that is experienced with our body. When we think, we are in our head. Now, when we are feeling emotions, you want to know what happens? Okay, so when you're thinking, you can obviously see, okay, thinking is with our conscious mind. I have to be there on time, or I have to take a shower this evening. Okay, whenever you shower, I'm just giving examples, okay? So you're thinking specific things. Every thought in your head, depending on how familiar it is for you, sets up a feeling. This is a feeling mind that's interacting. That's your subconscious mind. Now, every time you feel a specific feeling, that's energy in motion, that's emotion. It is a specific frequency. It is a specific energy in the body. Now, I can go more into detail about that. Then, okay, I can show it to you, right? Okay. Based on the frequency we have in the body, okay, we have specific emotions, right? Here you have anger, you have fear, you have guilt, shame. Here you go to joy, love, fulfillment, bliss, happiness, peace. And here you have acceptance, neutrality. And it all hangs, it's connected to a specific frequency we have in our body. Okay. So all this energy, all these feelings sets up a specific vibration in the body. Now, why is that important? Because I want you to write down that the body is an instrument of the mind. We may look like we are a mind on two legs when you're overthinking, and you totally forget that when you make connection with your body, that when you learn to breathe in a specific way, that you can start observing the thoughts in your head, or you can start connecting with the feeling you have in your body. And when you do so, you allow yourself to become the observer of the thoughts. And when you focus on being connected with the feeling that comes from the thoughts, you're actually more in your body. When you're in your body, you're not in your head. You're in your body. Now, since the body is an instrument of the mind, and since perhaps you're very often in your head, in your mind, there's less connection with your body. There's less connection with the emotions that you feel in your body. Because so used to shift into the mind, solving, thinking, overthinking, running in circles, arguing. Oh, I should have said this, I should have done that. And then because you say the word should or would or could, you connect another emotion to it. Perhaps you feel shame, perhaps you feel blame, any type of emotion that comes from these thoughts is experienced in the body. And how we feel is how we create specific habits of doing specific things. Can you see that? And when you do that over and over and over and over again, you create a specific identity. Can you see that as well? Perhaps you can see it with others. Now, may that be happening with you as well? So, I want you to become very aware, yes, with your thinking mind, with your conscious mind, that there's a difference of being in your head or feeling the feelings in your body. Do you agree that you perhaps feel that you want to stay in control by solving it, by controlling it, by forcing things? Oh, this is not going to happen. This is how I'm going to do it. And then you force it upon you or you force it upon others. Because you feel fear to let go of control. You feel fear of feeling the emotions actually in your body. That's what's happening unconsciously. Because the whole society shows you to, okay, stay in your head, then things will be logical and you can solve it. Do you agree that humans are driven by their emotions, that they're highly emotional creatures? Now, these emotions, can you agree that they're not particularly very logical? When you think about this, can you see that is why perhaps you have been ending up more in your head? All right. So, how the subconscious mind is formed happens with a lot of repetition and a lot of emotion. Okay. I want you to write down the amygdala is responsible for your emotions. And the hippocampus is two parts of the stem of your brain. The hippocampus is responsible for the long and the short term memory. Now, both of them, they let you store a lot of these emotions. People may say they have a bad memory. Then again, if I ask you to recall a moment that was very impactful in your childhood, perhaps a sad experience, a hurtful one, a painful one, it's right there. And you may have been very small. Now, why am I sharing all of this? Because I want you to understand that by you overthinking, there's a big part of the body, mind, soul, heart connection that is not accessed, that is not seen, that is not heard, that is not experienced. And this may be setting you up to fight and flight, to go into numbing yourself, distracting yourself, because you don't know how to drop in your body. You just don't know why it's important to drop in your body and forcing yourself to come up with solutions that should be an answer to what you're experiencing. So this is why you need to know what is the difference between being in your head and being in your body. If you're not told how to be in your body, if you're not told how to feel your emotions, if you're not told that the body has been holding on and storing these emotions for you until you're able to unpack them, nothing is going to change in your life. Nothing. Body, mind, soul, remember? And heart. So only being in the mind, even though the mind is very powerful, Look at the wisdom of our body. There's so much happening that you don't have to control any of it. Can you agree there's a lot of wisdom in your body? Can you then also agree that there's a reason why your body is holding these emotions for you until you're able to process them? Let me know in the comments if you have an aha from my share. Because your aha is also helping other people to understand, hey, wait a minute, there is so much more that I don't know. There is so much more that perhaps, but I'm not in my head and learn to connect with my body. There's so much more that I can learn about myself. So the feeling mind is also called the subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is responsible for 96, 97% of everything we experience. So if you learn to work, can you see that if you learn to work with the subconscious mind, that you may become very efficient with what is happening in your life in uncovering, remembering, learning, understanding. There's no mistakes, there's only learning lessons. There's only learning lessons. And everybody has different lessons to learn. And yes, it may be many lessons. So let me know in the comments what was your takeaway from this video. And let me also know if I were to help you with this, learning how you can do that. Would you be interested in learning more? If that's the case, then let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share this video, follow me. It's good for the algorithm, so more people get to see this information, get to understand the difference between being in your head and being in the body, why that matters, the difference between thinking and feeling, the behaviors, the actions, and the results we create in our lives. Also, if you want to know more, I share a link in the comments where you can join weekly calls, and also when you live in Zurich, in-person events where I guide you through the process, how to connect with those emotions. And when you understand yourself better, do you think that you can come up with better solutions? Can you also see that when you understand yourself better, that you can understand people around you better? Can you see that perhaps there's a lot of wisdom in your body that you didn't even access before? Well, if this speaks to you, let me know, and let us know in the comments. And also click then the link and join these calls so you can step on your journey of uncovering all those layers, all those wet blankets that hold you from experiencing your true identity, not your conditioned one. And know for sure every single one of this planet goes through the same connection, heart and brain connection. And it's your allowance, it's your willingness, it's your commitment of showing up to that, how your life is going to change for the good, for your soul's journey, and for the clarity you receive with your intuition, with your urges and yearnings, and why you know things ought to be different than what you're experiencing right now. I help you to learn, listen to the messages that are held there. We unpack it together. learning to know your blind spots, your triggers, your hurdles. See what's holding you back. See what are the things to unpack so you can move along for your health, for your wealth, for your relationships, for your purpose, in connection with your loved ones. Can you see the importance of that? I trust you do. Those who watch my videos, I know they do. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you for being an amazing crowd. Thank you for showing up on these calls and allowing yourself to go through these experiences of stepping into your feelings and allow yourself to heal what needs to be healed generationally or for yourself, personally, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Talk to you very soon. Have a wonderful day further. And click in the link in the comments. Happy to see you there. Bye bye.